Hello everyone, welcome back to Form of Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD, and today we are checking out WooAh Hip by M.M.D. M.M.D stands for MAMADOL. They are a project girl group from the TV show Mama the Idol. Basically, the premise of this show is taking former idols and singers who left the limelight in order to become full-time mothers. They birthed and raised their children, and this is their opportunity to step back into the limelight. Now, this was actually completely under my radar until people, you guys specifically, in the comments started suggesting this for the past week, and I started looking into it, and it's quite interesting. I'm actually very familiar with most of the people involved in this. I'm going to refer to my notes over here. We've got Jewelry's Park Jung-ah, Wonder Girls Sonye, After School's Ka-hee. I mean, those are three leaders of each group right there. Baby Bucks, Reeves, Yang Eun-ji, Pyeol, and Hyunjuni. Now, the only two people that I'm unfamiliar with are Baby Bucks, Reeves, Yang Eun-ji, and Hyunjuni. But everyone else, I'm somewhat familiar with Park Jung-ah. I know she was the leader of Jewelry, but Jewelry was definitely a group that I really only listened to musically and wasn't really into the members and stuff like that. But definitely way more familiar with Wonder Girls, After School, and Pyeol. But we'll talk more about that afterwards. We're going to be checking out the video today. Now, this is a performance video, so we're not going to be doing the same type of music video commentary that we usually do on the channel. We're more so going to be checking out the song and then probably diving a little bit more into the culture aspect of the culture study rather than doing music video commentary. But let's go ahead and get started. Actually, before we get started, real quick plug. If you guys actually enjoy the channel, please consider visiting our Patreon. If you go to our Patreon, we have bonus content over there. We have live stage reactions. We have listening parties to albums. We do variety show reactions, reality show reactions, K-drama reactions, a whole bunch of stuff. So if you guys want to check that out, you can join us over on patreon.com/formatherapy. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. Just a free, simple way to support the channel is to just hit the like button down below and to subscribe down below. We would really appreciate it. All right, now let's get into the video. This is the performance video for WooAh Hip by MAMADOL, and this is your form of therapy. Ooh. The main hook in the sound is nice. Oh my god. How old is Ka-hee? Wow, she looks great. Wow. Are you saying a bee like me? Oh my goodness. Wow, they put a lot of production into this performance video. It's like pretty much a music video just without the glamour shots. Ooh, bold choice for the camera work. Oh, no. That's, wow, okay. That was way too short, but damn, okay. Wow, all right, so let's talk about that. I was very curious as to what direction they were going to go, because you have a variety of people in this group that do not have the same type of training. And I don't know how long the show was, but I mean, the show has definitely not been around for years. So that's a big thing, because Kahi and Sonye are definitely in a different league. And I don't mean that like they're better than anyone, but they were trained differently compared to Jewelry, what Jewelry system went through. Like, Jewelry was first generation, and first generation idols, I feel like it was definitely more abusive back then, but the style of dancing and the style of music back then didn't have the exact same type of choreography. It's the case with, first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation of K-pop groups. Each generation, the training system is less abusive than the generation before it, but the stuff that they have to learn, and just like naturally through like the evolution of technology and the evolution of dance, the dancing is way more complex. And so I was like, are they gonna like kind of like cop out on the dancing and like not really do dancing that is like appropriate for the scene right now? And then are they gonna be showing like second gen stuff that I think would be like probably like the easiest to learn for everyone universally at like a quick pace? And yet, no, they brought it. But because of that, I do feel like Kahi and Sonya got the most screen time. Now, that might also be because of like, whatever happened on the show. I did not watch the show, but I do think Kahi and Sonya definitely appropriately got the right amount of screen time. Now, because I have not seen Jewelry in a long time, I did not recognize which one was Park Jong-ah. It's definitely not her, and it's either between her, and I'm gonna guess that it's her. I seriously haven't like watched the Jewelry music video in like over 10 years. I know that's definitely Pyeol. And I am unfamiliar with Yang Eun-ji and Hyunjuni, so I feel like these three are the ones that I'm least familiar with. But it feels very much like a just current K-pop group, doesn't it? In the way that, your two lead people have the most screen time, I would say Kai and Sonye. And then other people got their moments here and there. Pyeol was an interesting take to add into this group, because at least the other people here, Park Jong-ah and Yang Eun-ji specifically, they have idol experience. From my preliminary research, it looks like Hyung Junhee was not an idolist. She was not an idol. She was a soloist, and that's the case with Pyeol too. I was a fan of Pyeol actually growing up. I liked her music. If anybody wants any recommendations, I would say Cupid. Cupid was probably what she was like really well known for pop wise, and then Anbu is one that she was really well known for ballad wise. It's a classic go-to karaoke song. So I really liked Pyeol growing up. And then obviously nowadays, for people who are not as familiar with Pyeol and did not grow up with her music, you might know her as Haha's wife. But I like this opportunity because personally, Haha has talked about this on Running Man. He's like, yo, you've birthed 2 kids already. Like, you sacrifice so many years for kids, but like you are someone who should be a celebrity. You are someone who should be a musician / singer. And he said that before their third, when they were announcing their third kid. But because I've been a fan of Pyeol's for such a long time, I have been actually waiting for her to come back and do music. This is not the route I expected, but holy moly, I really like it for her. It's very suitable. Now she does, I would say, a lot of the ad-lib type stuff, but hey, that's what a K-pop group is. You kind of assign it by whoever does what best. I did not realize how much I missed Sonye. I have also been craving Sonye to return into the K-pop scene for a really, really long time now. To give a little, I guess, insight into the culture aspect of it, Sonye was very, 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 very disliked in, I would say, just like the quote-unquote, when I say general consensus, I just mean like online netizens. But the general consensus is like, the way she left Wonder Girls, one, I was sad that she left. I personally did not give a shit. But she left because she fell in love with a missionary, I think. And then she became a missionary. And then she had a kid. And then I think she lived in Canada or whatever. And for me, it's like, yeah, it's sad that she's gone. But like, one of the most beautiful things in life is to fall in love. And why would I not want that for her? And so, it was sad, but I was cool with it. But, I'm sure as K-pop fans, many of you guys may be familiar by now how people react to typical marriage news. Now, there were several marriage announcements within the past 5 years, but Sonye's was very, very early on, and this did not happen a lot back then. And so Sonye was one of the very first few people, and so she suffered a lot of wrath from the online community. And then I think like 3 years ago, there was either a rumor or an announcement on Sonye's end. She signed with a label, and it's a label with a name too, but it wasn't JYP, because she was originally with JYP. But actually, Pyeol was originally with JYP too, which is interesting. But anyways, when it was kind of announced that she was planning on returning back into the Korean celebrity scene, a lot of the response was negative. I wouldn't say most, because I'm not like the watcher where I see all the comments, but I saw a lot of negative comments. People are still not over it. But I'm glad she still did this. And listening to this, holy moly, I forgot how much I missed her voice. Her voice, and personally, like, I feel like it's what was missing from Wonder Girls after Sonye left. Is Sonye always had like these very strong R&B vocals that honestly could not be replicated. Sonye, to me, was like, Sonye, I think vocally, she's in the ranks with like, she's up there with like Ailey and people like that. She has a lot of soul in her voice. And I think someone you would liken her to is people in Mamamoo, specifically Hwaza, Hyun, Solar. They're like very like powerful, like jazzy R&B ballad voices. Like Sonye has all that. And so she sounded so good here. She was fantastic. I also forgot how thin and high-pitched Kahi's actual singing voice was. But yeah, we need to watch this again, because that was a pretty wild ride, and I want to see it again. Oh, Sonye looks so different. So what I find to be interesting is this is labeled as a performance video, and it is, rightfully is, but it is very close to being a music video. I think the only thing missing is basically the glamour shots, or I guess Korea calls them beauty cuts. Basically, those are the scenes that you see in music videos where like the idols are just like looking at the camera and like just like brushing back their hair or like looking beautiful and stuff like that. Those are the beauty cuts. And so that's really the only thing missing. Just like everyone's individual solo shots, that's the only thing missing. But they put a lot into this in terms of VFX, camera work, lighting, costume changes. I mean, they did a whole lot. I'm also a very big fan of the color grading here. I love the teal and the cyan in the shadows. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to that. Sorry, my dumbass was talking while she was singing. Listen to that. ooh, that like, oh, like just, oh. I don't like that there's a lot of filters on Pierre's voice, and Pierre has an amazing voice, and I kind of wish like they didn't put, I don't know, it's personal preference. God, this, oh, this chorus is dope. Oh, and then the second chorus is just, Okay, but, and it's not just because they're saying the word hip, but that main hook, the that kind of, I don't know what kind of instrument that is, that horn instrument, that horn hook that they have was interesting, but then after hearing this chorus right here, the WooAh hip, and the way it progresses, very, very Mamamoo-esque, doesn't it? It sounds very Mamamoo-esque. And what's funny enough, I'm looking now, this song was actually produced by Rainbow Bridge's Kim Do-hoon and Seo Yong-bae. So it is, Yong-bae very famously works on a handful of Rainbow music, Mamamoo as well, so makes a lot of sense why it sounds like a Mamamoo song. Ooh. Ooh. Even the editing, you know? Oh. I gotta say, even the people that I'm unfamiliar with, her, but also everyone else in general. You saw that scene right there with Kahi. Something that I really, really like about this music video, I see a lot of grit, and I see a lot of this kind of like beastly energy, like I've been caged up for X amount of years. This is something I've been, for maybe the past 2 years, have been liking in certain groups or what have you, is people that have something to prove. People, whether it's groups that come out of a survival show or groups like idols like this that, you know, haven't been an idol for years and years, when they have something to prove, when they feel like I gotta show people something, it's, the energy is just different. It's like so different from like a rookie group debuting just because they want to be an idol, or even a seasoned group, right? Something about that redemption arc, that fire that you see in people. Everyone here is so intensely charismatic. They're just dripping with so much charisma, and it's like all in their eyes, man. I can see like how desperate they are, how much they want it, you know, how much they wanted this. And I think in that aspect, everyone killed it. Not a single person is slacking. I mean, Kai is Kai. Let's just say that. But I mean, this person too. I think based on the research I did, mind you, they were old photos, but I think this is Junie. Whoa, she is super dope. Her facial expressions are really, really good, and her too. Look at her smile. Like the charisma is. Ooh. Ooh. I'm just gonna make an assumption and say Kai's the leader, right? And if she's not, that's I don't know, she feels like the leader. Ooh. Personally, I really like the camera work here. Okay, there's a cut right there, but basically what the cameraman does is they move forward, and then even just like that kind of shake, it adds to, again, that grittiness, that kind of like, personally, I like a mix of clean camera work and handheld camera work, but now not true handheld. True handheld camera work is very jittery, but like even just having it on just a stabilizer chest rig will give you like the handheld look and feel while it's still being stabilized. That look, I feel like it adds a sort of, I don't know, a sort of like a grassroots type of energy. It feels like they're not completely polished, but like I don't want just a 100% purely polished group. I like a little rough around the edges type of thing. And so like when they moved in like that right here, this shot, that's so dope. And then they cut, and then this whole entire shot where I actually don't really like full framed claustrophobic shots like this, but it really, really works here. And just the lighting here with like the video light right on them and spotlighting them, it also looks really, really nice. Wow. Good Lord, they must have trained really, they must have trained really, really hard. I'm so mad. He did that. I needed like 15 seconds more of something. Like, this is such a great outro, but give me something just a little more. But also, this was such a bold choice. This can cause motion sickness. This can cause people to be confused. Now they're just going crazy with the camera work, but also look at the LED screen in the back. It's like you're going down a vortex and a tunnel, and it's super cool. And even if they didn't do the handheld camera work, it probably would have looked really cool. But because like they worked it out just right, it looks really, really dope. Wow, even when Kai was doing that rotation at the end, I think the camera was following. Yeah, the camera work moved in rotation with her. Wow. I definitely have been feeling this a lot more as I get older as well. I am definitely way more appealed by mature concepts and idols that are actually older and more mature, and have like a higher median range in their age range. And seeing WooAh makes me want MAMADOL to be a permanent fixture. I think they are good enough to be a permanent fixture. Now, if we are holding this by 4th gen standards, it's not all the way there. Like, you know, I can see like their timing and stuff is not like perfectly in sync, but it's good enough, which most groups are. Just they're good enough where I feel like they could be a permanent fixture. I feel like they could knock it out of the park if we made this a permanent group, or we bring back more first gen idols and let them re-debut and do stuff like this. This is super, super dope. Honestly, I would say the video itself is actually a 10 out of 10. Now, that's just like a objective score of the video itself. Like if we're relative to a music video, you could not even compare it. That's not what they were trying to do here. They weren't trying to film a music video. But what I would say about the overall package as well, the song is super dope. The song holds up. The song is somehow perfectly very, very, it has that 2nd gen after school vibe. Like it sounds like Mamamoo, which I think gives it the more modern vibe. But at the same time, this sounds like an after school song as well. And I think Kai's presence definitely leans into that. But yeah, they had a lot of songs like this, a lot of dance electronica songs back then, and Wonder Girls did as well. So I think it's a very appropriate comeback for all of them, and it really highlights everyone's specialties. I would say the only people where I feel like I didn't get to see enough of them, and I would love to see more, is her and her. I think she actually got a good amount of screen time, or more so, whenever she was on screen, I think she was working it really, really well. I think this person is just someone I would have loved to see more from. But honestly, I know that this is a project girl group, and they don't need to have a comeback all the time, but I hope we see more from them. I hope they even get an album. Hell, even considering a comeback, like, it's not something they have to do permanently, right? They have kids, they have a life outside of this, but this is something that they do occasionally here and there. I feel like it'd be really, really cool. So, song 10 out of 10. The video itself is really cool, well edited, well produced, a lot of effort put into it. Even for a performance video, even by performance video standards, I would say it's extremely high quality. And I think everyone nailed it. I think everyone nailed it and knocked it out of the park. I would have loved to hear Pyeol's vocals a lot more, but that's just a personal thing. I think when you have someone like Sonya in the group, it's kind of well, and for a song like this too, you really only have room for like one vocalist. But still, I would say everyone knocked it out of the park. So 10 out of 10, like, perfect score. I could not give this a higher score because they did everything right, in my opinion. So yeah. But guys, that is my reaction and review to WooAh Hip by M.M.D, MAMADOL. I would love to know your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments down below. What did you guys think of the music video? What did you guys think of this overall thing? And let me know, before you actually leave your comment, let me know, are you saying this from the perspective of someone who has seen the show, or are you saying this from the perspective of someone who hasn't seen the show? I have not seen the show, but I am a big fan of Pyeol, Kahi, and Sonya, so there were some pretty heavy stakes coming into this, and I gotta say, I'm really, really, really satisfied. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you would like to support the channel, remember you could always visit patreon.com/formatherapy. We have listening party, variety show, reality, K-drama reactions on there. So not only would you be supporting the channel, you'd be getting bonus content as well. But you don't have to support us monetarily if you don't want to. You could always just hit the like button down below. And we're going to have the subscribe button for you right here. Go ahead and hit that if you want to check out our other videos. Well, actually, if you want to check out other videos, you can hit the end cards over here. But guys, thank you for watching our video. Thank you for supporting the channel. We will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.